With the Chicago Bears releasing All-Pro safety Eddie Jackson and Pro Bowl center Cody Whitehair a few days ago, the move we all saw coming, unfortunately, due to very, very expensive contracts, wishing them the best. But with these moves, the Chicago Bears now have over $70 million in cap to do whatever they want with this upcoming offseason. We know there's a few things that they have to do, but I'm going to break down some of the other moves that Chicago can make in order to solidify this roster. Which, by the way, Ryan Poles, very good in free agency, in my opinion. I have full faith in him that he's going to do exactly what he did last year again. I'm going to break it all down for you guys. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to this episode of Just Another Year Chicago. My name is Nick Rohde, and as always, thank you for tuning in. The Bears now have $70 million in some change this upcoming 2024 NFL offseason. They're still going to have to pay Jaylon Johnson and potentially sign some key depth players, which, by the way, I'm sticking with Justin Fields as my quarterback one, which is a huge impact to a lot of these decisions in free agency. So I'm just putting that out there. I know I've done some Caleb Williams videos. I know I've done some trades lately, but Justin Fields is my guy, and I want him to be quarterback one next year. And before I begin this show, if you want Justin Fields to be your quarterback one next year for Chicago, make sure to smash the like button on this video so we can just put this to the end. I think there's way more Justin Fields supporters than Caleb Williams supporters. Again, whoever the quarterback is, I'm supporting. I trust Ryan Poles in making the decisions for this team, but I really want Justin Fields to be quarterback one next year, and I want to see how many people are with me. And also comment what free agents you want the Chicago Bears to look into and you can say you liked mine or just put in a few that you would like to see. So let's break down the Chicago Bears situation and what they need this upcoming offseason. Totally my opinion, but the Chicago Bears have to address wide receiver 2, defensive tackle, edge, center, safety, tight end 2, and running back 3 or 2, depending on what you look at it as, this upcoming offseason. And with $70 million on top of it, the Bears have 6 picks, 2 being in the top 10, along with 1 in the 3rd, 2 in the 4th, and 1 in the 5th. So from the list that I just listed, there is 7 key areas of need, 5 of them being starting spots. So you're going to have to use up some of free agency money to get starters from free agency for your team like we did last year. And some of the guys that we got that were huge for this roster just last season was TJ Edwards, Tremaine Edmunds, Andrew Billings, DeMarcus Walker, and Nate Davis. Just off that list alone, I trust Ryan Poles. But again, we need 5 starters. You really can't get that. I don't think they'll be able to get that many with their current picks. They're probably going to trade back. In fact, they are 100% going to trade back either the 1 or the 9. I'm hoping for the 1. But overall, there's a few things that they can do internally before they go externally. To start off the re-signing, obviously, Jaylon Johnson is the big one. The 6-foot, 196-pound cornerback is only 24 years old and is madly respected in this locker room. He is a leader on this team, and he had a fantastic 2023 season where he went to the Pro Bowl, had 4 interceptions, returned 1 for a touchdown, 10 pass deflections, 1 forced fumble, 36 total tackles, and the QBR of quarterbacks when he is in the area of targeted, 40. That's unheard of in this league. Number 1 in the league this past year. Jaylon Johnson is worth every single dollar. Right now, he's projected to get 18 to 20 million a year with the releasing of Cody Whitehair and Eddie Jackson. Chicago can now pay it. So let's just say it's on the higher end of in 20 million a season. That puts Chicago with 50 million left. The next guy internally that I'm going to re-sign is defensive back and special teamer Josh Blackwell. The 5'11", 180-pound DB is only 24 years old as well and has become one of the best special teamers on this team the last 2 seasons. He did appear in 10 games this past year. He did have a hamstring injury, but did get some playing time on defense that he took advantage of with 1 pass deflection and 1 forced fumble. I would like to re-sign him to a 1-year, $1 million contract, a little bit more than he made last year. He made $900,000 last year. And after that, that leaves me with a defensive and special team specialist, along with $49 million left in the bank. And then the final remaining guy from the 2018 team, Patrick Scales, our long snapper. You can't replace a guy like him easily. He brings so much energy to the locker room. He's great with his teammates. People love him. The community loves him. And he's a long snapper. It is an impactful position. And last year he made 1 year, $1.3 million. Just do it again. Keep this guy on the roster. You need that energy. And that now leaves me with $47.9 million. So now after I've addressed that internally, that's still all the key areas that I need to go out and get in order to solidify this roster. I am going to cut off a lot of them in the draft alone. Wide receiver 2, I'm taking a top guy, a top prospect to have on a rookie contract to pair with DJ Moore and have whoever our quarterback is for years to come. Then I'm going to go out and get an edge, probably going to use pick number 9 for that and get a guy like Jared Verse or Dallas Turner. With that 3rd round or with my trade back, I'm probably going to get a few mid-rounders here. I'm going to get a defensive tackle, and there's defensive tackles everywhere, but I want one of the top ones in the draft. Along with that, I would love to get a tight end too, a young guy on a rookie contract to pair with Cole Kmet. Good mentorship. The two can be together for a long time. Lots of good options, by the way, at TE2. And then I want to take a running back in this upcoming draft. We have a 3rd and 2/4. I think it's absolutely perfect to take a player of running back position in that area. Tons of big guys that can address the big running back need that we're going to need if we don't re-sign Deontay Foreman. So that's kind of what I'm doing in the draft. So as you guys can tell, I did not address center and safety in the draft, which I want to get veterans for. So to start off, I'm putting $12 million aside for my rookies. That's usually the average how it goes. I mean, the Bears do have higher picks, but still $12 million is on the upper end of things, and that leaves me with about $35.7 million. Not as much as you think, but I think Ryan Poles is going to use that money and address key areas. First guy I'm taking is Lloyd Cushenberry III, a center from the Denver Broncos. The 6'4", 315-pound center is only 26 years old, was drafted at 83 out of LSU back in 2020, and he's looking to get paid. The best pass block grade of centers this past year, according to PFF, a 76.5. Along with that, he has an 11.8% positive run grade from blocking percentage that was also 2nd highest among centers last past season. His pass blocking has skyrocketed last season. He's really taken off. He's become very respected in the game, but it's going to cost the Chicago Bears. Right now, he's projected a 4-year, $57.1 million contract with $34.25 million guaranteed. A lot of cash, but you're paying for the best. And that's what I would like the Chicago Bears to do, because we have not had a center in a very long time, unfortunately. And that's at $14.25 million average. If I were to do that, if he were to come to Chicago Bears, that leaves me with about $21.45 million. After that, I'm going to go address that starting safety position that I need with a young, talented guy in Jordan Whitehead from the New York Jets. Only 26 years old, 5'10", 200 pounds. So very, very strong, compacted, strong safety. And he'd be great to replace Eddie Jackson. He's played in the NFL for 6 seasons. He's been ripping it up, and this past year, he was a monster. 84 total tackles, 57 of them being solo, 10 pass deflections, 3 tackles for loss, and 4 interceptions for the Jets. Imagine how well this defense is going to do with another young guy in the secondary that's going to gel really well and is a ball hawk as well. Could be a great mentor, a young mentor that's able to relate to the younger guys, but also bring that new edge to the game. I love what I saw out of Whitehead when I was scouting him, and I think he'd be great. He's projected to get a 3-year, $34 million contract, which is about, $11.3 million a season. And if I were to do that, that still leaves me with $10.25 million. So I think he'd be a great signing for years to come. Followed along with that, I'm addressing punter, something I haven't talked about yet, but I think we can hit on in free agency because we do have a punter right now. But I want to go out and get the best, and that's Tommy Townsend from the Kansas City Chiefs. The 6'1", 191-pound, 27-year-old is a 3-time Super Bowl champion, 1-time All-Pro, and 1-time Pro Bowler. Last season, he averaged 47.4 yards per kick and hasn't missed a game his entire career. He has a cannon of a leg, plays with a lot of energy, and was a captain for the Chiefs. Would be a huge asset to bring in, and he'd be the highest paid punter. 3-year, $10 million contract, putting him at $3.33 million, and that leaves me with $6.82 million left. Final guy I'm going to go out and get, which I think is so crucial, and he's not a wide receiver too, because he'd be used for special teams strictly for his punt return and kick return specialties, is RayRay McLoud from the San Francisco 49ers. 5'9", 190 pounds, only 27 years old. A fantastic special teamer. Would bring Devin Hester type energy to this team. He is nowhere near as good as Devin Hester, guys. Just putting that out there. But in today's NFL, he is one of the best. Last season, he averaged 22.6 yards per turn on kick returns, along with 10 yards per turn on punts, which is super difficult to do nowadays. And receiving, he wasn't bad, 14.5 yards per catch average the last 2 seasons for the Niners. This guy plays fast, he plays hard, and it would be a great addition to solidify special teams for the Chicago Bears, and they'd be dangerous every part of the game. I'd sign him to a 1-year, $2.5 million contract, a little bit more than he made last year with the Niners. Leave me with about $4.32 million left, and Poles can go out and either re-sign a couple guys or just use that money on anyone else he thinks is right. Whew, that was a lot. And I hope you guys enjoyed this episode because I have been enjoying this offseason content. Things are going to ramp up, guys. So make sure you hit that subscribe button with notifications to stay up to date on all Chicago Bears news. But with that, thank you as always for tuning in this episode of Just Another Year Chicago. My name is Nick Rohde, and as always, bear down, baby.